Are preachers tempted to put earning money ahead of doing God's will? Have we enticed God's people into bowing to idols and sexual immorality? Let's look at Numbers 22. Did Balak the king of Moab want Balaam to curse Israel? Then the sons of Israel journeyed on and camped in the plains of Moab beyond the Jordan opposite Jericho. Now Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. So Moab was in great fear because of the people, for they were numerous, and Moab was in dread of the sons of Israel. Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this horde will eat up all that's around us, as the ox eats up the grass of the field." And Balak the son of Zippor was king of Moab at that time. So he sent messengers to Balaam the son of Beor at Pethor, which is near the Euphrates River, in the land of the sons of his people, to call for him, saying, "Behold, a people came out of Egypt. Behold, they've covered the surface of the land, and they're living opposite me. Now therefore please come, curse this people for me, since they're too mighty for me. Perhaps I'll be able to defeat them and drive them out of the land. For I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed." Did God confront Balaam with a warning not to curse Israel? The elders of Moab and Midian left, taking with them the fee for divination. When they came to Balaam, they told him what Balak had said. "Spend the night here," Balaam said to them, "and I'll report back to you with the answer the Lord gives me." So the Moabite officials stayed with him. God came to Balaam and asked, "Who are these men with you?" Balaam said to God, "Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, sent me this message. A people that has come out of Egypt covers the face of the land. Now come and put a curse on them for me. Perhaps then I'll be able to fight them and drive them away." But God said to Balaam, "Don't go with them. You must not put a curse on those people, because they're blessed." The next morning Balaam got up and said to Balak's officials, "Go back to your own country, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you." So the Moabite officials returned to Balak and said, "Balaam refused to come with us." What did the Lord instruct Balaam to do and say in regard to Balak's second request? Then Balak again sent princes, more numerous and more honorable than they, and they came to Balaam and said to him, "Thus says Balak the son of Zippor, please let nothing hinder you from coming to me, for I'll certainly honor you greatly, and I'll do whatever you say to me. Therefore please come, curse this people for me." Then Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, "Though Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of the Lord my God, to do less or more. Now therefore please you also stay here tonight, that I may know what more the Lord will say to me." And God came to Balaam at night and said to him, "If the men come to call you, rise up and go with them, but only the word which I speak to you, that shall you do." So Balaam rose in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. Was the Lord angry with Balaam because his heart was not right? But God was angry that Balaam was going, so he sent the angel of the Lord to stand in the road to block his way. As Balaam and 2 servants were riding along, Balaam's donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road, with a drawn sword in his hand. The donkey bolted off the road into a field, but Balaam beat it and turned it back onto the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood at a place where the road narrowed between 2 vineyard walls. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it tried to squeeze by and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam beat the donkey again. Then the angel of the Lord moved farther down the road and stood in a place too narrow for the donkey to get by at all. This time, when the donkey saw the angel, it lay down under Balaam. In a fit of rage, Balaam beat the animal again with his staff. Did God warn Balaam that his way was perverse before God? Yahweh opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you've struck me these 3 times?" Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you've mocked me, I wish there were a sword in my hand, for now I would have killed you." The donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey on which you've ridden all your life long until today? Was I ever in the habit of doing so to you?" He said, "No." Then Yahweh opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw Yahweh's angel standing in the way, with his sword drawn in his hand. And he bowed his head and fell on his face. Yahweh's angel said to him, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I've come out as an adversary, because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me and turned away from me these 3 times. Unless she'd turned away from me, surely now I would have killed you and saved her alive." Did God reiterate his warning that Balaam should only speak what God tells him? Balaam said to the Lord's messenger, "I've sinned, because I didn't know that you were standing against me in the road. Now if you think it's wrong, I'll go back." The Lord's messenger said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but don't say anything. Say only that which I tell you." So Balaam went with Balak's officials. When Balaam met the king Balak, did he finally decide to do as God commanded him? When Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went to meet him at the town of Ir, on the Arnon River, which is the northern border of Moab. Balak asked, "Why didn't you come when I invited you the first time? Did you think I wasn't going to pay you?" "I'm here now," Balaam answered, "but I'll say only what God tells me to say." They left and went to the town of Kiriath Huzoth, where Balak sacrificed cattle and sheep, and gave some of the meat to Balaam and the officials who were with him. The next morning Balak took Balaam to the town of Bamoth Baal. From there Balaam could see some of the Israelites. Have some people followed Balaam's way instead of doing God's will? Forsaking the right way, they've gone astray. They've followed the way of Balaam, the son of Beor, who loved gain from wrongdoing, but was rebuked for his own transgression. A speechless donkey spoke with human voice and restrained the prophet's madness. Are preachers tempted to put earning money ahead of doing God's will? Have we enticed God's people into bowing to idols and sexual immorality? You decide.